the Century Arms BFT 556. Let's check it out. Guys, when it comes to the AK-47, it's one of the most popular, numerous rifles ever made, used in combat all across the world, and known for its durability and just to get you through hell and back. Today we're going to take a look at the Century Arms BFT for Bulged Forge Trunnion, and this is in 5.56. When they introduced their 7.62 by 3.9, it is a solid rifle. And right here with that trunnion is your fail point between your barrel and your receiver. And this has been beefed up with 4140 steel, and there are a lot of other features that make this a really appealing AK-47 style rifle. And these are made right here in the USA. But one of the things about 5.56 is that it is really soft to shoot, but now that 7.62 by 3.9, a lot of that military surplus or the steel cased ammunition has dried up. The prices have gone up. And guys, honestly, with this muzzle brake and in 223, this is a very soft shooting AK-47 rifle, and really kind of mimics the AK-74. And we want to give a big thank you to Century Arms for sending the BFT 5.56 for this review. Century Arms International BFT 5.56. This is a Bulged Forge Trunnion AK-47, which gives this a lot of strength. We're going to look at some details about it, but it's this area right here that is beefed up between your receiver, your barrel, your chamber, this area, and it gives it a lot of strength, a lot of durability, and that's one of the things the AK-47 is known for. But this is also in the 5.56 or 223. And this is the round, obviously, that the U.S. military uses and has been using for the AR-15. We're going to talk about some reasons why 5.56 has become very popular with your AK. But this is an all-American made AK, very close to the specs of all your Eastern European AKs. But to get things started, we're going to remove our magazine, and this has a 5-round block for YouTube, so this is a 25-round magazine. Chamber is empty. And you'll notice it does have kind of a matte anodized finish all throughout. And it really makes it look very utilitarian. I like the way it looks. A lot of the AKs out of Eastern Europe do have more of a blued finish. This has a very matte finish. Now your dust cover, a little bit more of a sheen to it. Looks a little bit like black nitride. Now it does have the extended safety. This is an enhanced safety. It does have the notch, and so we can bring back our bolt, lock our safety into place just like that, because the AK-47 does not have a last round bolt hold open. So this gives you the option to be able to work and see what's going on. And then of course, when you drop it, it just drops the bolt. And you have a really nice charging handle right here connected to your bolt carrier. We also have T-paddles, and this is for your mag release. So as we bring in our magazine, it gives us a little bit easier way to grip it and to pull it, and so it just a little bit more of an extension. We also have one of the US Palm pistol grips, very well textured. It is open at the bottom. Some do have little compartments, but this will fit any of your AK style pistol grips. But before we get into too much of the details, I do want to talk about the 5.56 versus the 7.62 by 3.9. Now here we have 5.56 or 223, 7.62 by 3.9, and 5.45 by 3.9. This is the Russians' current caliber, and it mimics a lot of the features of your 5.56 or 223. 223 has a lighter bullet, it's moving faster. To be honest with you, it has a longer range and it's more accurate. Here with the 7.62 by 3.9, there is a slight taper. It's one of the reasons why you don't see these a lot of times in the AR-15 because of the way this thing tapers. It needs more of a curved magazine. But it is a heavier hitting bullet, and that's one of the big pluses. Really kind of compares with the 300 Blackout. So for up close, you're going to have more advantage with the 7.62 by 3.9, but 5.56 or 223 gives you longer distances, and actually it's just more accurate. But the real story is that 223 right now is running about 26 cents per round. I found this on AmmoSeek. 7.62 by 3.9, which was extremely cheap in the steel cased ammunition, is running about 40 cents per round. So it's about 15 cents per round more. Then the 5.45 is running about 60 cents per round. These are having really heavy import restrictions, and so the price is rising. And that's the reason why that 5.56 or 223 is becoming very popular in your AK-47 or 74 rifle. And guys, here we have a traditional AK-47 in 7.62 by 3.9. Mainly just the wood furniture is different. Of course, the caliber, we have a slant muzzle brake. And Century does make the Bulged Forge Trunnions in the 7.62 by 3.9. But again, you're getting just a little more power up close, but you're getting better accuracy, you're getting less recoil with the 5.56 version. And if you don't really dig the premium red maple furniture, which honestly, the more I look at it, the more I like it. You can see the wood coming through, but I'm honestly a little more of a traditional guy. I like that maple or that wood finish, but definitely gives you some options, and you can switch that out. Now, it's a stamped receiver. It's 1.5 millimeters, and it's 4130 steel, which makes it really strong. You can see it does have the dimples, and it's very well staked. The rivets are very well done. But the trunnion has been beefed up, and here you can see this raised area in the receiver, and while it's difficult to see, your trunnion here is extended out, and it just gives this more strength. You can see the barrel here, and of course that is part of the chamber, and it just locks into the receiver. And this is a 4140 steel trunnion, and it's machined, it's not cast. We have our standard AK sights, and it has the millimeters for elevation, and we have the front post, and of course you can change your elevation here as well, and some windage going on the side. This muzzle brake is actually more of your AK-74 style. And so it works with those pressures and that velocity that's coming out. And you also have ports here on the top as well as at the front. But this muzzle brake is just like your standard, and it has the little detent. You can screw this off, and you can replace this with whatever muzzle brake you want to use. But again, this is a very effective muzzle brake. Also have our cleaning rod that's attached, but we don't have a bayonet lug. Now this is premium red maple furniture, and it does have that kind of a plum look to it, which a lot of aficionados like, this kind of a color to it. A lot of your plum magazines and different things that the Soviet bloc countries did use. But it does have that kind of a different look to it. But you can still see the grain coming through on the wood. It's a little bit bright for my taste, but definitely, you know, you could switch this out if you wanted to. And it does have palm swells right here in the handguard. And same with the buttstock. We do have a sling swivel here, and it does have a metal butt pad. There is no cleaning kit in the butt of the rifle. It's just a ribbed butt pad. Then on the other side, we do have a scope mount. So you can take your mount, put it on here, and have optics. And it's one of the things about the AK that's always been the bane is mounting optics. A lot of times there'll be Picatinny rails on the dust cover, but even though this dust cover is tight, it's not quite as tight as a solid receiver, especially for optics to get some really good accuracy. So having this mount really helps out, and it just kind of comes over the receiver, and then you can mount your optic on there. It has a 16.25 inch barrel. It is chrome moly vanadium. It's 4150 steel. You guys, a little close up of the rivets. Very well done, especially up here at the trunnion. And all the pins are set correctly. It's really nice to see Century Arms. They have had some issues in the past, but they seem to have really stepped up their game. Okay, we have the RAK Enhanced Trigger Group. This has been a very popular trigger with Century Arms, and it just has a lot of advantages, a lot of hand fitting. It is a double hook trigger. Now there is a little take up, and then you hit the brake. So you barely just have a little take up, and then the brake. Reset right there. But it's a nice brake. It's not super crisp. It's definitely an AK brake, but this is better than a lot of triggers that I've fired on AK-47s. And while it is a double hook trigger, these actually can be purchased from Century Arms, and you can install this even in a single hook receiver. And these are all made in the USA as well. And the trigger pull weight, 3 pounds, 5.3 ounces. Guys, check out suitsgear.com. We've just revamped our website. We're doing giveaways. We have a newsletter. We have a lot of swag. And also we have some of the best deals out there. So check it out at suitsgear.com. Big thank you to Fiocchi for sponsoring the ammo, all made in the USA. Biggest supplier of ammunition in the country. And we're going to try out this BFT, or Bulged Forge Trunnion. I've had some experience with the 7.6 2x39, but 5.56 or 223, it's really soft to shoot. All right, guys, we have the Century Arms BFT for Bulged Forge Trunnion. Trunnion's one of those areas you've got to really protect because that's where all the pressure is, and they have reinforced around the trunnion to make it really strong. This will give you extra life for your AK-47. Now this one is in 5.56, or you can shoot 223. So it's a very soft shooting AK. And with this muzzle brake on the end, it really tames the recoil, keeps it super flat. I mean, this is really an easy gun to shoot. Of course, you have your standard magazines that are for your 5.56. Nice finish on it, but it's going to give it a lot of strength. And it's still got that classic AK design. I mean, it is so soft shooting. Has that extended safety, so you can take and lock your bolt back if you want, which makes it really good because this is no bolt hold open on your AK. Fit and finish is very nice, and this red wood is definitely unique, but you can get, other wood choices as well if this isn't your style. But overall, Century Arms has been really putting out some very good quality AKs. And again, it's just that traditional, legendary AK, used more in combat than any other firearm in the world. I mean, even shooting rapid fire, it just stays really flat. A lot to do with the muzzle brake, a lot to do with the caliber, and you get that AK manual of arms. Pretty soft shooting, isn't it?
Oh yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it.
I like the recoil impulse. I think that muzzle brake even helps.
I think that it's so smooth.
Yeah.
That's nice.
All right, for disassembly, we're going to drop our magazine, check the chamber, and the gun's empty. First, here on the back of your dust cover, just push in and lift up on the cover, and it pulls right off. We're going to take our recoil spring and guide rod, push it forward, and then just bring it out of these two little slots. Bring back your bolt carrier, and once it gets to the back of the receiver, you can lift it up, and it comes out. Here we have our bolt. We're going to pull it out. Now, the bolt is carburized 4140 steel, and of course we have our carrier here and we have our piston. Now here we have the RAK trigger, and it is double hooked. Go ahead and release that. But really nice setup. These again are really excellent triggers. And then we have another look around our Bulged Forge Trunnion area. You can even see this marked out here But this just gives this a lot of strength, and it's one of the things that I really love about what Century Arms is doing. And I have the 7.62 by 3.9 BFT, and it is held up extremely well. Here's the bolt, a little smaller than your 7.62 by 3.9, but very well machined, just a very nice piece. It does have 5.56 by 45. Now here we have our lever next to our handguard. We're going to take our bolt carrier, see if we can just lock it into this little slot and lift it up, just like that. And what you're doing is you're just getting this lined up, and you'll see when we lift this up. There we go. And you can see the gas tube. Very well done. And here you can see the lever as it turns up. It just allows that handguard to go into place, and then as you push down, it just locks the handguard in. Just give you a look. You can lift this lever up and take off the bottom of the handguard, but we're not going to do that. Now to replace your handguard, go up front, go ahead and just put that into place, and just make sure that it's lined up, just like that. Then we're going to take the lever and we're going to push it down. You got to make sure your handguard is locked down before you push it down. And we're going to get a little help from our bolt carrier again. There we go. It's locked into place. Next we're going to take our bolt, put it back into the carrier. Go ahead and put your piston in first. And just move that forward. Now we're going to take our recoil spring and guide rod assembly. And there's two little wings here on the back, and they just go past and then they slide into those slots. You got to get it just right into that spring tension. There we go. There is a rear trunnion here on the back that is beefed up as well. Take your dust cover, put it in the front, lock it in, just give it a good pop, and this will pop right back out. We're going to turn our magazine, lock it in, and we're back in business. One thing I do want to mention about the magazines is it does have steel reinforced here at the back and here at the front, so it's going to fit into your receiver, and even though this is polymer, it's going to give it a lot of strength. Now, keeping your firearms maintained and cleaned is vital. Otis makes some of the best cleaning equipment out there. They make a number of different kits that are dedicated for different rifles, pistols. They also have Shooter's Choice, which makes excellent CLP and bore solvent and different cleaning materials. The Ripcord is one of their signatures, and there's a whole system based around it. They are suppliers to the U.S. military, and then of course they have tools as well. So check out Otis Technologies, highly recommended, and we want to thank Otis for being a sponsor of the channel. Retail price on the Century Arms BFT 556 is $1,049.99. And guys, AKs have risen in price over the past few years. A lot of it has to do with import restrictions and problems, getting them into the country as far as the Eastern Bloc. But now that we're seeing the U.S. made, obviously they're made right here in the U.S. and labor costs are just a little bit more. Market price is going to be about $8.50 is what I'm seeing these for. So what are some pros and cons? Well, first off is the Bulged Forge Trunnion, whether you get it in the 223 556 or the 7.62 by 3.9. This is going to give you a lot of strength up front. And again, 4140 steel. The 1.5 millimeter stamped receiver, which is very well done. It's 4130 steel, and then you've got your barrel, 16-inch barrel, chromoly, 4150 steel. So we're using premium products, and the red maple, it's just according if you like that. It goes back to some of the traditional looks of the Soviet bloc. Another big plus for this is it is in 223 or 556. So you're going to get less recoil and you're going to get a cheaper price on ammunition. So this gives you a big bonus. You do have optics mount capability. I love the enhanced safety, and that gives us that bolt hold open. And this AK-74 muzzle brake is very effective, even so with the 556. But it gives you that traditional rifle in a caliber that we all know, of course, can go right with your AR-15. As far as magazines, I didn't see a price for magazines, but I know that the 7.62 mags are going for about between $12 and $15, so fairly reasonable in price. And we're getting the RAK trigger system, which is really good. So overall, we've had a great time with this rifle. Again, it's very soft to shoot, and it brings that price down a little bit. And again, it's made right here in the USA. So guys, when it comes to AK-47s, I mean, they're legendary and they're just great to take to the range. They're great for home defense. I mean, they've proven themselves on the battlefield. When you bring in the 5.56, it really tames things down, makes it really soft to shoot, and of course the 5.56 is very plentiful, or your 223. And with steel case ammunition drying up, it makes it a great option. But the big news here is the BFT, or Bulged Forge Trunnion. It makes this really strong and really just gives it that AK-47 reliability. And again, a big thank you to Century Arms for sending the BFT and 5.56 for this review. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. That is one of those rounds that has been around. Okay. Fudge. Today we're going to take a look at this AK-47 style hand. Guys, having an AK-47. All right, for disassembly, we're going to move the magazine, check the chamber. Guess we're not.
Ta-da! That's nice. It's pink.